If you like my videos and you want such more videos, then do like, share and consider subscribing. For the notification, do not forget to tap the notification icon. Thank you.
Good morning students, welcome to today's class. As you know that from last some videos we were discussing about the fossil fuels, that was coal and petroleum. And the discussion of fossil fuels won't be complete without the discussion of natural gas. So today's topic is natural gas. So like coal and petroleum, natural gas is also a fossil fuel. Since we have discussed that what is the process behind the formation of fossil fuels, the same process applies on natural gas. Means the dead organic matter under high pressure and temperature converts into natural gas. This takes around millions of years. So where you're expected to find natural gas? If you remember, I was discussing about the petroleum. So I discussed that when petroleum is collected between the rocks under the soil, the top layer above the petroleum is the collection or the reservoir of the natural gas. Yes, natural gas is found along with the petroleum in most of the places, but it is exclusively found alone also. So natural gas is found below the sea, just above the petroleum, and it is trapped between the rocks. It is taken away by a different pipeline and then it is distributed after doing several processes. So what is basically natural gas? Natural gas is made up of methane. Let's understand more about methane. So as I've said, the natural gas is mainly made up of methane. Methane is a hydrocarbon. If you remember, I have mentioned this term. Hydrocarbon means the compounds which is made up of hydrogen and carbon. So methane is having the formula as CH4, means there is one carbon and 4 hydrogen. So what is special about methane? Methane is a very inflammable gas, and this methane is not only found in the natural gas, but methane is found in marshy areas, swampy areas, which you called as daldal. जो इलाके दलदली होते हैं वहां पर भी जो है मीथेन पाया जाता है. So basically it is found in marshy and swampy areas. There are a lot of microorganisms which is called as methanogens which produce methane. So methane is found in all these things also. And if you have heard about biogas, in that also the main component is methane. So basically methane is that gas which burns with very high efficiency. Means it makes the natural gas having a lot of advantages. So what are those advantages? Let's discuss. So methane, which is also fossil fuel like coal and petroleum and found along with the petroleum, is different from coal and petroleum because the reserves of natural gas is more than coal and petroleum. But that is not only one point that makes it completely different from coal and petroleum, but the main thing is that natural gas is a clean fuel. Now what is meant by clean fuel? So if I am saying that natural gas is a clean fuel, what is meaning of this? It means that it is a non-polluting fuel. It undergoes complete combustion. It leaves no residue. Now these points make it completely different from the other fossil fuels, because coal does not burn properly, and there are number of times when coal is undergoing incomplete combustion. So what is happening in incomplete combustion? When a fuel is going through a complete combustion, that time it is burning completely, so it is not leaving any residue, there is no ash left. So that gives the high efficiency of that fuel. But if a fuel is not burning properly, then the residue is left in, and this will be problematic. Plus, if it is not burning properly, then the unburnt carbon particles will remain in the atmosphere as SPM. SPM is suspended particulate matter. So what basically is SPM? Whenever any fuel is burning, but if it is not burning properly, these unburnt carbon particles, which are very small, very tiny, they remain in the atmosphere. You cannot see it, but it is there in the atmosphere. So it is not settling down, it is remaining in the atmosphere, and when we are inhaling this along with the air what we are inhaling, and this start getting accumulated into our respiratory system, affecting our respiratory system. So it may produce lot of respiratory problems like the allergic rhinitis, allergic bronchitis, asthma. Lots of people these days are having respiratory problems. The main problem is pollution. So if the fuel is not burning properly, then the pollution will create. But natural gas, which is a clean fuel, is a non-polluting fuel. It burns completely without any residue, and mainly it produces carbon dioxide, and that too in a very limited amount, not like coal and petroleum. That's why natural gas is always preferred over coal and petroleum, because of these reasons. This natural gas is compressed and it is used as LPG and CNG. Now you may have heard about these two things. There are lots of places in India and other countries also where nowadays CNG is preferred in the vehicles as a fuel because of its all these advantages. As you have seen the advantages, it is a non-polluting fuel. It goes under complete combustion, leaves no residue, produces less carbon dioxide, and along with that it is having high calorific value because of the presence of methane. So it is not only methane that is present in the natural gas, a little amount of butane and propane is also present. Butane and propane are also hydrocarbons, and all this make this natural gas quite efficient to be used. As you have seen that natural gas is much better fuel as compared to coal and petroleum, and why it is preferred over coal and petroleum, you have seen those points also. Let me write those points again, that why it is preferred over coal and petroleum, because it has more reserves than coal and petroleum. It produces more energy. It is clean fuel. So we have already discussed that why it is called clean fuel, because it produces less poisonous gases, plus less carbon dioxide. That's why natural gas is better than coal and petroleum. So you will write these points into your notebook, that why natural gas is much better fuel than the coal and petroleum. This is good fuel also. Now what is a good fuel? I think you remember that we have discussed that in combustion and flame, that if we are saying a fuel is a good fuel, what it means? Means it should be easy to transport, it should be cheap, it should be readily available, it should be easy to store, it should be clean fuel, and all these points relate to natural gas. So you may have seen that these days natural gas is preferred over other fossil fuels. So where are those reserves where natural gas is found, and in which country the natural gas is found in a larger amount? Let's write those point also. So where are the reserves of natural gas found? The country which contains the large amount or the largest amount of natural gas reserve is Russia. It is containing the larger amount of gas reserve, plus it is the biggest gas producer. In India, where is natural gas found? So we have some states where it is found, such as Tripura, Krishna Godavari Delta, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. Now I have already written down that natural gas is used as LPG and CNG. You know that what are the uses of LPG and CNG. LPG is used as a cooking fuel and CNG used in the vehicles because it is very high efficient fuel. Now what about other uses of natural gas? Natural gas uses. Now as we have seen, the first use is that it is used for cooking, heating purposes. It is used in power generation. It is used in industrial application. Plus, lots of compounds are formed with the help of natural gas. For example, fertilizers, chemicals, paints, steel, plastics, and it is also used to make nitrogen in fertilizer and as carbon black in tire industry. So as you have seen that the number of uses of natural gas, it is just not used as a cooking fuel or fuel in vehicle, but it finds number of uses in natural gas. These days, if we talk about the fossil fuels, the most preferred fossil fuel is natural gas. I think I have mentioned this point number of times, but just to make sure that this point remain into your mind, that these days those fuels are preferred because they are better fuel as compared to the rest. Why it is preferred, we will discuss in the next topic. So till now we have discussed about coal, petroleum and natural gas. These are fossil fuels and they make around 75% of our energy needs. But can we rely them for long time? Can these resources last for forever? The answer of this question relies on the first topic which we have discussed, that these are non-renewable resources. Means those resources which take long period of time to recycle or to renew, means millions of years, and millions of years is much more than the span of many human life. So what we should do? Can we switch over to other sources of energy? Well, both of these have to be done in today's world if we want to use these energy resources for longer period of time. Let's look on these matter in a much broader spectrum. These fossil fuels, since they are non-renewable resources, their resources are limited. exhausted very fast. Yes, these energy resources are getting exhausted very fast. How? Because all our development is primarily dependent on these fossil fuels. As I've already stated that 75% of our energy needs come from fossil fuels. Means all the vehicles, all the industries are running on these fossil fuels. So if they are exhausted in near 150 or 200 years, what will happen after that? Just imagine the things around you, all the things which give you feel of luxury or feel of comfortable. Are they going to stay for longer period of time if there is no electricity, if there is no fuel to run it? So what will happen after that? Do we have to move to the early man life when there was nothing? Well, we cannot do that. So what we have to do? We have to conserve these energy resources, plus we have to move towards the alternative sources of energy or unconventional sources of energy. So in this topic, first I am going to discuss about the ways by which we can conserve these energy resources or we can save these energy resources, and then later we will move towards how we can use another alternative sources of energy to save these energy resources. Coal, petroleum and natural gas. These are fossil fuels, and as I've already discussed that they form the backbone of our energy needs, whether it comes in the terms of transportation or power generation. But can we rely on these resources for long time, means forever? Can we depend upon the development we are having from it for long time? Definitely not. Why? Let's look into the data. Coal forms around 58% of our energy needs, whereas petroleum makes it around 29% and natural gas forms around 6.7%. Now, how much reserves are left of these fossil fuels? Coal is left with only 150 years. Means the speed we are using it will last only for 150 years. Whereas petroleum will last with only 53 years, and same with natural gas. So what will happen after 150 years? Are we going to stop with the development we are having it due to these fossil fuels, or we are going to stop all the facilities, comfortabilities we are having due to them? So it's time to switch over some other ways to conserve these fossil fuels since they are limited. If you remember, in the starting of the topic itself, I have discussed that these fossil fuels are non-renewable sources of energy. Means they take millions of years to form, which is definitely much more than the human span of life. So it is not possible that if coal and petroleum get exhausted today, we can have it in some millions of years. As we have discussed in the starting of the topic itself, that coal and petroleum take millions of years to form since they are non-renewable sources of energy. So definitely we are not going to get it back in some years. It will take millions of years. The next disadvantage of the fossil fuel is that we are getting this development on the cost of nature. Yes, fossil fuels cause pollution, and we have discussed enough about it, that the use of fossil fuel is affecting nature so badly, and it is affecting from all the spheres. Means if we are using fossil fuels, then the carbon dioxide release is increasing global warming. Not only that, there are a lot of other gases which is released during the burning of fossil fuels, causing many health related problems because they are making the air completely unbreathable. Third is that not only pollution of air is happening, due to the development we are having, the nature is affected very badly. So how to stop all this, how to conserve the nature, and how to make sure that these reserves are left for the next generation also. So for that we have to change a lot of things, few habits, the way of thinking, and we have to inculcate into our daily life so that we are not only using these non-renewable sources of energy but mixing it with the alternative sources of energy so that these reserves can last for longer period of time. As we have discussed already in our previous topic, that fossil fuels are limited. Plus, there are a lot of disadvantages related to fossil fuels. What are they? First, it releases carbon dioxide, which is leading to global warming. And we have discussed enough about that, how global warming is damaging our nature. Second, it releases many poisonous gases or many polluting gases, which in turn is harming the nature, and it is leading to lots of respiratory related problems and many health problems. Third, since these resources are limited, then it will be a difficult problem if we are not tackling it right at this moment. So what we have to do? As we have already stated number of uses of fossil fuels, let's discuss about two of the very important uses. That the fossil fuels are used as fuels for industry and in vehicles. Second, it is used for power generation, where we are getting electricity. So these are the two places where fossil fuels are used majorly. Now, if we are trying to use some steps or some of the ways to conserve fuels over here, we are saving a lot of fuels. For example, if we talk about electricity, number of times we have seen that we are using electricity whenever it is not needed. So we should implement some of the habits in our daily life so that we can save the electricity. For example, if you don't need electricity, if the bulb is just glowing without any reason, make a habit to switch off the fans, switch off the lights when it is not needed. Unplug the appliances when it is not needed. Make sure the refrigerator, which uses energy throughout the day, should be switched off in between for intervals of 2 to 3 hours to consume energy, and that is not going to disturb the efficiency of refrigerator. Especially during winters, when we don't need refrigerators for a long time, we can keep it switched off for around 4 to 5 hours in between so that energy is saved. And we should also go for all other unconventional sources of energy, or those energy which are not related to fossil fuels. For example, use of solar panels or wind energy wherever it is possible. And these energy resources will definitely loosen the burden on the fossil fuels. So if we are taking these habits, small habits for at our home, then definitely this is going to be helpful. Now, most of the vehicles are using the fossil fuels, and this is making our life very easy because transportation has been seeing so much of changes due to the use of these vehicles that moving from one place to another has not become a difficult task anymore. But the use of fossil fuels, the more the vehicles are there on the road, the more pollution, the more carbon dioxide will be added into the nature, creating a lot of problem. Now the nature is becoming sick. The earth is becoming sick due to the polluting gases plus carbon dioxide. So what has to be done? Since fossil fuels are used majorly in vehicles, here we have to ensure that some kind of changes need to be done. PCRA, that is Petroleum Conservation Research Association, has issued some guidelines so that we can implement them while using vehicles, and making sure that this is not only saving the fossil fuels but also making sure that our nature is conserved, our nature is